Anime Adventures, you did good. You did very, very good. In fact, the title for this video is probably going to be something like Anime Adventures, We Don't Need to Talk. Because this is a positive video. It is a time to rejoice. Because for the first time since the leeching problem, I was able to complete a full run of the new winter event, Frozen Abyss I believe it's called. I was able to complete an entire run without leechers. Although, there was a little tidbit that I'll get into later in the video. The matchmaking system as a whole seems to have been fixed, because with the new addition of CAPTCHAs, which was a suggestion that I made, whether it was added because of my video or not, we'll never know. All we can do is be thankful that the devs are listening to the community and they are actively implementing changes to make the game better. You absolutely love to see it. Also, if my voice sounds a little bit different this video, it's because I got a new microphone. And I thought to myself, after using the same $20 TikTok shop microphone for the past 6 or 7 months since I started making videos, might be time for a little bit of an upgrade. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this new microphone. Does my voice sound better? Let's hope so. I hope I got my money's worth. And I'm sorry this video is coming out a little bit later than I usually post. It's just because setting up this new microphone was a pain in the ass. I'm still figuring out all the kinks to it. It needs like a whole audio interface and XLR cables, and it's a whole thing, but I won't bore you with that. Let's move back into the video. The reason that I wanted to record this was for one of two reasons. Number one, I wanted to commend the developers for their rather hasty addition of CAPTCHAs as soon as the leeching problem became very, very widespread. I don't have the exact timeline memorized, but it's not much of a timeline anyway. About, 2 or 3 days ago when the leeching macro was posted, it became somewhat widespread. When I made my video, that was when it was at its peak, in my opinion. That's when you would literally see every single person leeching. You could not go into a matchmaking lobby without there being a leech, and I thought that was a problem. So, I made the video on it, I talked about it, and a lot of people were suggesting stuff like vote kick, add CAPTCHAs, make it so you need to do a certain percentage of damage to the bosses to get credit, and those were all really, really great suggestions. One of the suggestions, the CAPTCHA thing, actually ended up getting added into the game, and in my eyes that is a huge green flag from the developers, and it makes me hopeful for the future of the game, because seeing the developers / owners of this game actively participating in discussions with their community, although they're not directly like talking to them, it's very evident that they're listening, and that makes me very happy. On the topic of quality of life changes, before we move on to the game itself, there is one thing that I want to mention specifically for matchmaking game modes, and that is a vote kick feature. While I was getting the background footage for this video, I noticed that there would be people who, despite there being a CAPTCHA, would just sit there and get 0 damage, not do anything the entire game. And I know, the game mode's long, and it is pretty monotonous having to grind it out. I myself can attest to that fact because I did an entire run for this video, and it was 42 minutes long. I'm not even going to fit in the entire video, but I do think a vote kick feature would be very helpful, just because it'll let the players who are actually playing the game vote to kick people that are just sitting there not doing anything. I think that would be a tremendous addition into the game. And obviously this is not my idea, I'm not going to take credit for it. I saw it in my comment section ad nauseum. It was spread around a lot. So yeah, I still think it would be a really good addition. And I also heard some people talking about how if you want the rewards, there should be a damage requirement on how much you do to bosses, like maybe 10% or 5%. I also really like that addition. For me, it's either or. Either make it so you can vote kick players, or make it so you have to deal X amount of damage to even be eligible to get rewards. I think both are great. I like vote kick more, but both of them work. Another quality of life feature that I would absolutely love to see within this game is Unit Manager. And I know as soon as I say that, a lot of people are going to be rolling their eyes and thinking to themselves, Unit Manager? Well, Anime Vanguards did it first. If you want a Unit Manager, just go play Anime Vanguards. Don't ruin our game with all of that crap. Here's the thing, right? I will never understand the mentality of wanting to gatekeep quality of life changes, because it's sort of in the name. It's quality of life. It just improves the overall gameplay flow of the game. I'll never understand the people that got mad at Anime Defenders, or the people that will get mad at Anime Reborn when quality of life features from Anime Vanguards are implemented into other anime tower defense games. If you look at other anime tower defense games and they're adding quality of life features that players really like, why do you care if Anime Vanguards did it first? That's like complaining that other cars have airbags because the first brand of car did it first. Like, motherfucker, you're gonna die. Like, are you serious? Why are we complaining about this? It is just a net positive all around. As a player, you should always be happy that your game is adding features that make your life a little bit easier. And whether you like anime vanguards or not, there is one very, very evident truth that no one can deny. Anime vanguards introduced a lot of amazing quality of life changes into their game that, frankly, I wouldn't mind being replicated in a lot of other anime tower defense games. Stuff like keybinds to upgrade your units, unit managers, unique unit passives, etc, etc. I know that obviously they weren't the first ever tower defense game to have features like that, but they were definitely the first to introduce it onto the Roblox platform, and definitely the first to do it in the anime tower defense scene, so you get what I'm trying to say. Let's move on to the next item. I made a really shitty Photoshop example here, but this is a very small quality of life change. I'd like there to be a button to start a challenge without having to wait for the little timer to go off, because now when you want to do your challenges to get your Evo materials, the little star fruits, it makes you wait until the blue bar goes all the way down. Something this is just a personal thing. I would just like there to be a little green button I can press to play if I'm going to do it solo. Because I know most people are doing challenges solo. Unless you're a newer player, you're not going to need help to solo any of the challenges in this game. Story modes get pretty easy once you get some of the more meta units. So yeah, I don't know, that's just a personal me thing. Let me know if you guys would like that or not. I just think it'd be cool, so I thought I'd add it in the video. Let's move on. Shout out to Purple for this next suggestion, because I was watching his video and I am basically just regurgitating one of his points here, and that is changes to the guild ranking system. As it stands right now, the way that guilds are calculated, 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 5, stuff like that, it's based off damage. And although this definitely is a way to gauge which players are the best, because obviously the players with the most unique units and meta units are going to be at the top of the damage leaderboard, it just incentivizes players to leave their computers on overnight every single day to farm as much damage as possible around the clock, and I think that's kind of lame. I think there could be a better way for guilds to, fight it out and see who's really the best without having to make them sacrifice their electricity bill every single night. And Purple suggested things like you fight a boss for 10 minutes and that's all the damage that you can do per day, and you also get rewards. I really love that idea. In fact, there's a mobile game that I play called Capybara Go. I don't recommend you play it. It's just a really shitty cash grab, but my little monkey brain is addicted to it, so I can't stop. Anyways, the way that they go about doing guild wars, I think, is really nice. Every single week, your guild will be given a new boss after you kill the previous one. And this boss is super duper beefy. It's going to be impossible for a single player to kill the boss by themselves. So you, as a guild, as a collective, are going to have to come together and damage the boss. You get, 2 or 3 attempts per day, and once you kill the boss, you get a big chest of rewards, but it also gives you rewards if you do X amount of damage to the boss. So let's say if it was an Anime Adventures, you could get a little chest of rewards every single time you did 5 million damage, and then 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, etc, etc. It would just keep going up and up, and these rewards would reset every week. I think this would be a really nice system to see in AA. Obviously, maybe don't copy them word for word, bar for bar. Maybe you guys want to do something different. But I definitely want guilds to be incentivized for all players. I don't know why it took me so long to think of that word. My brain is turning into mush. But what I'm trying to say is, right now, guilds are really only rewarding for the top 1% of players who are going to get those exclusive cool units that they can use for trading and that they can trade off for rerolls or whatever that they want to do if they're collectors, maybe, I don't know. But right now, if you're in a guild and you're in a pretty average guild that's not anywhere on the leaderboard, you're basically just not getting anything. The only reason you're in the guild, maybe you just want to have a little cool picture above your name with whatever your guild name is, sure. But I think that there's so much more that we could do with the guild system. Maybe make it so there is weekly rewards that players can get regardless of what tier you're in, regardless of you being on the leaderboard or not. I think this would go a long way to helping players of all skill levels. Clash Royale did something really similar before their game went to shit. I don't even want to talk about Clash Royale, just saying that kind of makes me gag a little bit, but they used to have clan chests, and these were chests that you would get at the end of every week if you contributed X amount of medals to your clan wars every single week. And that was really nice. I looked forward to that as a free-to-play player because it gave sizable rewards and it incentivized me to participate in my guild. So I really think if Anime Adventures made their guild system a little bit more interactive and more incentivized, I guess, for players of all skill levels, giving more rewards, I think that would just boost player engagement a lot. More people would be playing the game. People would have more things to do. I think it's a net positive all around. which is why I'm including it in this video. This video is also getting a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, so in the interest of time and not making this video like 30 plus minutes, I just want to, do one more. That is going to be curbing the RNG for trait rerolls. Now, what do I mean by that? By no means am I saying that I want unique to be more common, but I think that there's definitely some ways that this game could make the grind for super rare traits like unique, celestial, divine, golden just a teensy tiny bit easier. Maybe they could do something like ALS where you have double luck on the weekends for your traits. That might be too much of a drastic change though. I don't know if Anime Adventures would ever want to do that. Something that they could do is make it so you can grind for a special status effect. For example, we'll call the status effect Angel's Blessing. After completing this very, very hard raid or very, very hard portal, there's a chance that you get a little potion called Angel's Blessing. And you could take this one step further. Maybe if you do an even harder activity, you can have something above Angel's Blessing, God's Blessing. And this makes it so you have triple the chance of getting a Reaper Plus trait for your next 10 rerolls. And maybe for leaderboard players or players that get like really high up in infinite leaderboards or anything of that sort, you could give them a super special potion that guarantees Reaper Plus for a single reroll. Now, I'm just spitballing here. Let me know if you guys think this is way too much of a drastic change, but I would absolutely love to see a way to make the RNG for traits a little bit better, just a little bit. I still want unique to have the exclusivity and, that really big shock factor whenever you get it. I remember when I got my first unique, I was like, oh my god, like, I had the hairs on my arms, what's it called, goosebumps, I was tweaking. I was in my chair spazzing out. I was like, damn, we got a unique, oh my god. I'm sad that I couldn't record my reaction. I just did it off camera, but what I'm trying to say is getting a unique in this game feels really, really good. That is one of their trademarks. Unique is one of the staple traits in this game that everyone wants. It's the most sought after trait in the game. And how do you keep it that way? Well, you make it hard to get. You make it exclusive. You make it rare. So I don't think messing with that system is very, very good. If everyone was walking around with unique, obviously, unique would lose a lot of its intrinsic value and purpose. But I definitely think we can make it just a teensy tiny bit more common. As it stands, a lot of the player base never has had a unique, and they might never get a unique. Because as right now, it's a little bit at the hands of RNG, whether you're going to get it or not. It's completely luck based. And the only way that you can curb that luck right now is to spend more money, open your wallet, buy more rerolls. Anyways, I think we're going to end the video here. I talked about all of the quality of life changes that I would most like to see in the game. And once again, big ups to the developers for adding the captcha system. I think it is an incredible addition into the game. And the main people complaining about it are the leechers who are benefiting off screwing over other players. And, to those people, I have no sympathy. If you want to macro, be my guest. I macro myself. I'm not going to lie to you. But the second that you start fucking over players because you don't want to play the game, I really don't feel bad for you. And I have heard the argument of people that grind the game manually who are upset that they now have to spend an extra 2 seconds putting in a captcha every single time they want to use the matchmaking feature. And I guess I do feel a little bit bad for those people, but you got to keep in mind that the captchas were a necessary evil. If leeching was never a problem in the first place, captchas never would have had to be implemented into the game. And like the captchas are like 4 or 5 letters long. It takes you 2 seconds to do them. It's not that bad. Anyways, that is going to be it from me in this video. Let me know if you agreed or disagreed with the quality of life changes that I talked about, and comment down below some quality of life changes that I didn't mention, some that you think are really good and that you'd like to see. Maybe you think there are better alternatives to the ones that I talked about. I would love to hear what you have to say. Let me know how the new mic sounds. Is it too loud, too quiet? Does my voice sound different? Should I up the gain? Should I lower the gain? Should I change the decibels on it? Like, I have a whole little box that I can use to change my voice now. So yeah, if there's anything that you don't like with the audio quality, please let me know and I will do my best to fix it. Anyways, that is going to be it from me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more content and we'll catch you in the next one.